That one hits home. I've had that many a time. Yeah. The stuff that I used to do at my parents' house when they had the big house and the big property and the yard to take care of, and just if something would not go the way you wanted it to, or like Jeff said, you're prepared for it and you think you got it all covered and it malfunctions, or just things where you're down and the weed eater's not working and you reline it. And then you can't start it, and then you find out the gas has water in it, and you got to dump it out. And now at this point, you're like boiling over. Yeah. So then you lift you get up, you're yanking the thing, and you hit your head off the bottom of the deck.
Oh man!
And then it's just like you snap, motherfucker! You're screaming, you're smashing the weed eater on the ground. I mean, I've done that to several things and just broke them in pieces.
You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast, the home of sports, gambling, entertainment, and whatever the hell else has gone on this week. So pull up a seat by the fire, crack open a cold one, and make sure to get your bets in. Welcome to the Pine Room. This episode is sponsored by our good friends at IC Cab. Whether you're in the Ohio Valley, Pittsburgh, Cleveland, Columbus, Morgantown, or Charleston, you've seen the cars around. IC Cab provides a simple transportation service for all your transportation needs, be it a ride to the Pittsburgh airport, because we all know it's cheaper than parking, corporate transportation, courier services, or just a ride home from the local bar. IC Cab is your way to roll. To book your next ride, call 304-232-1313 or schedule a future ride at iccab.com/contact. Then all you got to do is fill out some info and boom, you got a ride coming your way. Oh, all right, that's me. Give them a call. Tell them the Pine Room sent you. All right, hello everyone, and welcome into the Pine Room Podcast, episode 75. Wow, 75, we made it. The last episode was with NBC Pro Football Talk, NBC Sports. I keep doing that. NBC Sports Pro Football Talk, Mike Florio. Hopefully you enjoyed that and enjoyed his talk about his book and his history in Wheeling and all the sports talk that you guys did afterwards. That was pretty cool. And he was a super nice guy. I think he enjoyed being here. I'm not like he was thrilled to be, come and hang out with us.
I don't think he felt like it was like a burden to him at all.
No.
I don't think he minded coming in at all.
No, and I think one of my things that I try to do if I ever meet a celebrity, because I've met a few like Alex Highsmith, kind of guys on that caliber. It's almost like you got to treat them. Don't
you
look
shouldn't
at
act
them
any
like they're these superstars. Because I told Cooley when we met Alex Highsmith, I was like, just pretend he's some normal dude. Like I think that's what those guys miss is like being treated like a normal person instead of this like God among men. But
no question.
Well, I think two things with that. It's super, and I wasn't privileged enough I wasn't able to make it down for the interview, but it's so cool on Thursday night and Sunday night to see him on national fucking TV
no, I said,
and to know that he's in the fucking
that he was
studio.
just sitting right in
Literally,
this chair.
That's number one. And number two, Jub, you're 100% right with what you said, but unfortunately, I still think you have those egotistical fucktards that are like, that they do, but the normal ones that are probably more grounded in life, they don't want to be blown.
Yeah.
Right.
They don't.
And especially, he came from the same background as all of us,
Yeah.
like from Wheeling, like just a regular family and that, so we have that in common with him, so I think that made us all feel pretty comfortable. We had
Which is super
same common ground about all the things around
this
where we
is
live.
a good segue. So I saw a bunch of ads about Beyonce's big birthday concert, and
Wait, is her birthday?
I think it was her
And she's
birthday,
doing a
and she
concert
just
for
did
her
a concert.
birthday?
Yeah,
That's super fun.
And
But what did we say about egotistical?
Yeah. There you
and
go, Jeff.
all
Case in
these,
point.
all these celebrities were there. Jeff Bezos, like Tom Holland, Zendaya, all kinds of different artists that were at this concert. And I think it was at a big arena. And I was just looking at that. It's like all these celebrities go to Beyonce's birthday party, and it's like none of these people like are grounded in reality. Like that's their reality is going to a concert where they got VIP access to this front stage floor. I don't know. There's just something gross about it to me, and I don't like it.
I agree with you.
I think it's weird.
Those people, you're right. Those people do not know what real life is.
No.
They really don't. Their lives it's been a video game for a long time.
Yeah.
There's nobody.
And not to say they haven't earned some of that.
No,
obviously, a lot of them
100%.
have.
They worked hard.
but-
But there's truly, and you guys may think I'm full of shit. There is truly nobody that would make me starstruck.
I don't.
Not
I
one.
think.
Not one person. Like I would not. Like here's the deal. It's not.
Yeah,
It's not that I wouldn't try to approach a Jub Delbrook if he was world famous or whatever like that. But to say that I'd wait in line or I'd go up and ask for an autograph or I'd go up and suck you off, there would not be one.
You don't have any movie stars.
Not one.
Like heroes.
Truly don't give a fuck.
Like if let me get.
I'm being honest.
Robert De Niro.
No, I would be cool. It's not that I wouldn't be happy to meet him, but I would,
Like you wouldn't like if he shows, it'd be like,
No,
oh my
fuck
god,
that, man.
that's
That's so
incredible
gross.
to meet you.
Yeah,
I know
that's
it is.
gross.
I think I would be. I wouldn't be like groveling, but I think I'd be nervous. For whatever reason. That
For would you be nervous? Well, you're married, happily married man. So but think about in your young prime, would a female that you had like a
100%.
super crush on
I think
make
that
it?
would make you nervous.
Yes.
Yeah,
No,
Without
that
a
would be
doubt.
the only caveat to me. I agree with you though. I don't think meeting a male, even if it's like somebody I thought was super awesome, Miami guy or whoever, I'd like
Or
to
like a
think that
Ronaldo.
I'd be kind of normal.
'Cause-
No, I mean meeting Messi would be
Or
pretty
Messi,
awesome.
yeah.
I mean,
I agree with meeting people would be awesome,
But
but to go crazy.
Yeah, you're right.
Like
Like, I
when I
wouldn't-
see people like what's the most recent? Probably like a Taylor Swift concert, and
The
you see
young girls
fucking
obsessed
people
with
just
her. Yeah.
bawling.
Yeah.
And
That's
hysterical and
crazy to me.
shaking, and
That's insane to
I'll
me.
say, I mean, I've
dumb.
never been. I went to my first concert was a Post Malone concert. I talked about it a couple episodes ago, and I really didn't I would not call myself a Post Malone fan, but I mean, people there with like signs like asking to go.
How many people have face tattoos like him?
I would say you'd be surprised with how many people probably try to emulate him.
Like he
That's
can
wild.
do it though. He fucking can do it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He can. He's
Yeah.
established. He's worth a lot of money. He's talented. Like a dude that works at Exel and shouldn't be fucking doing that.
Yeah.
Like you gotta be
Terry
sensible
Terry
here, dude.
the UPS man has tattoos.
Yeah, like
all over
I mean,
his face.
I'm just saying. I don't judge you, but other people will, and it may hurt you in life. That's all.
Until you're like on a platform where you have where you are set for life, you
Right.
have money,
Uninhibited, you
there's
can-
no
yeah.
liability to ever go back to where you need to build yourself
Regular
up in the
life.
roots. Yeah, but
You got to go sit down for a job interview.
Yeah, with those face. Real quick to go back to the celebrity thing and Alex Highsmith. We actually saw Alex again. He was up at the Morgan Wallen concert on last Thursday when Florio came in, and I think I talked about it on the radio. We saw him, and he'd been passing by us a couple of times, and we just couldn't get down to see him. And real quick before the concert started, we ran down, and of course, Soup snuck us onto the field, and we figured out a way down, and Alex was there, and I said, Alex, and he like kind of just put his hand up, like waved like it was another fan, and I yelled again. I was like, Alex, and he turned around and he said, oh my God, and he was like, hey, like he was walking away from everybody, and he told his wife, hey, 1 sec, and he comes walking right up to us, and a bunch of security guards were like coming over and said, whoa, 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 and I said, well, no, I'm going to see my friend.
it's my friend right
I was
now.
like, that's my friend. And he dapped us all up. We took a picture. He was talking to us for like a couple minutes.
Super
So
cool,
it was
man.
Yeah, that
the
is
coolest
See,
dude.
that's
like,
what life is all
Yes.
about right there.
and you
That's
think
what life's all
he
about.
owes nothing.
nothing.
Nothing. Which is that's cool.
That is super
It was
cool,
the
though.
coolest thing. Like, and those security guards were like, "Whoa, where are you going?" I was like, "I'm good." And I swear, I said, "I'm going to see my friend." And I went up. He gave him a hug, and he was awesome. He's just a man.
That's good
you
stuff.
Think T.J. Watt would have done that?
See,
Probably not.
Do you
Probably
think,
not.
let's say, in the best possible of worlds, and this thing, which chances are it's not going to be world famous, but if it ever would you be a guy that would be welcoming of all that attention? Like if you say you walk out of here and there's 6 guys out in the parking lot waiting for Jeff Doyle to come out to say hi, and they want to sign a
Sign
football
my
or
chest,
something, yeah.
Jeff.
Football.
Couple things. It'd be super cool if we have that problem. That's number one. Number two, I think when you, and it's the unfortunate reality that when you do become quote unquote that big in life, that there becomes responsibilities with that. And I think part of that is, unfortunately, you lose some of your privacy, and that does suck. It really does. But when you're making millions of dollars and you're doing it in the public eye where people are making your paycheck, you kind of owe that to them, in my opinion.
Yeah, that's a really good point. That's a good
absolutely.
I think, but I don't know. Like, I wouldn't like it. I don't like the as much as I know that personalities are personalities. I don't know. I can be the dude in the back of the room and not say a fucking word in a room, but I can also be the guy that leads everything too.
Yeah.
Where I prefer not to.
If some guy, if you were walking maybe in Kroger and he would go, "Oh my God, you're Jeff Doyle from the Pioneer Podcast. Can I get a picture with you?" Would you be
Kroger and Warwood?
Here's
where
the deal.
stars
I
are
feel
made.
really weird if we're at this level right now and some dude
not
wants a
this level?
Okay.
Like say
To answer your question, yes,
say-
hands down. Because if somebody's rooting for us and likes us and has our best interest in mind because they're happy for us and stuff like that, I think we'd be a dick if you didn't do that.
Yeah, like say 4 years from now, we got. I pray to God this is the way it works out. Chances are it's not, but say we got a couple 100,000 followers, and you're out there, and a guy, you're shopping maybe with Cheryl. He goes, "Hey, are you Jeff Doyle from the Pioneer Podcast? You're him, right? Can I get a picture? Are you down for that?"
Yeah, without a doubt.
I think so. I would love that.
Yeah, it would be super cool. Now, if it becomes ever to the point of threatening,
Well,
becomes a little
And then
weird.
they're showing up in your yard. And
Yeah,
shit.
that kind of stuff. That would
that's
be
where I
more-
do feel for the celebrities. Like, I think Jeff is exactly right. Like, you owe a debt of gratitude. At least give some of your time to fans, athletes too. I thought it was cool. Djokovic won that final the other night. He signed balls for little kids for like an hour, and I thought that was really cool. And that guy takes a lot of shit from people because he didn't get vaccinated, and they think he's a bad guy. Fuck that.
Fuck that's right.
I mean, give a little bit of time, but then they got to respect it back. They can't be showing up in your yard and then tracking down your kids at school. Like, I feel like the paparazzi and those people push it over the line. But regular people, if somebody comes up to us and says, "Hey, what's up? Can I get a pic with you guys?" I'll be like, "Yeah, like
absolutely.
no fucking big,
Yeah.
no big deal at all."
Post Malone after his concert, like the lights came on, the roadies are like cleaning the show up, like putting equipment away, putting instruments away, and Post Malone was on the front of the stage signing stuff, taking pictures for. It took us a half hour to get out, and by the time we got out, he was still doing stuff with people, which is super cool.
I think it would be totally awesome. Like, I talk about hitting the lottery all the time, and obviously it's for selfish reasons, but it would be so cool to be able to make such an impact in people's lives. And I'm probably not going to ever be able to do that just with my normal day-to-day. I mean that sounds kind of cheesy, but if you were able to make just shit tons of money and you could be able to pay it forward and treat people the right way and stuff, like to be able to have that kind of impact on somebody's life. So
absolutely.
to be able to have, if we are able to make it somewhat big and we have impacts on people's lives, to me, I know it's cheesy as fuck, but I think that'd be super bad.
Yeah.
That's the one thing I've always thought when we started this, like, just to be able to like make somebody laugh for an hour a day, I think that is the coolest thing ever.
Because you think about it, it's like, sure, our stuff is, we're not like changing. Well, we could be sometime, but we're not like changing the face of the planet. But like, if you just get maybe a guy had a bad day, and he goes on and he puts a video of us talking to Champ or talking to Flav, and he laughs for an hour and forgets about his shitty day. That to me is like.
Yeah.
Super cool, right?
That's awesome.
We have had people say, like, I put you guys on in the car and like I was laughing and like, it's like,
well, yeah.
you don't even think about it being a big deal, but it's like, it's good to hear that stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, you want the content to be like, this is actually us. Like, that's what people may not who don't know us. Like, we're not like, I'm coming in here like dressed like a bum, basically. Like, I don't have Job's got no shoes on. Like, it's like Jeff just came from work. Like, we're not changing who we are at all, and that's why we're able to do this is because we don't have to be anybody different than what we are. When we go on the radio, we don't have to be anybody that we're not, except we just can't swear, and that's tough in itself.
That sucks. Yeah.
But yeah, so minus that part, you're getting the same people on the radio too. So I think that makes it easy because if you were somebody who played a character, or maybe you just were a piece of shit as a real person, but you try to portray yourself differently. That to me would exhaust me. If you had to like play a character on the radio, like it's already tough enough to do the show, like, and be pretty, better, getting better at it. We're not professionals, we're trying, but that takes a lot out of you. But if you had to like act like somebody different, I feel like that would be awful.
I'll relate that to, and I don't really know the guy, and I've seen a couple of his interviews, but Caleb, what's his name for Barstool?
Caleb Presley.
So he does.
The guy that was doing the ringside.
Yeah,
And I think our girl Brooklyn Barwick wanted him to be the baby daddy.
He wanted to sleep with him, I think.
Brooklyn motherfucking Barwick.
That's actually a really funny story.
He plays, when he's in his interview, he's playing a character.
I would think
to a degree,
playing it up to a degree. So when we saw
kind of like
him,
a guy that's doing like for working for wrestling, like WWE.
Yes,
kind of
where
stuff.
he's not exactly like being a fake, but he's kind of over. He's like exaggerating his personality. Yes. And I'll tell you, and I don't know the guy. I don't know him personally. I've seen some of his stuff. He seems really funny. But when we saw him out at 19th hole, because he went to eat there, he looked like. He looked so exhausted. He looked so like he was in the corner with his friends, but he just didn't look like he was happy. And I don't know whether that's
an interesting take.
I don't know whether that's just him having a long day with the Rough and Rowdy, but he just didn't look like. I don't know. It was hard to explain.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
He was real, like on.
He just kind of was like stoic.
Yeah,
almost.
if you saw him on tape, you'd say, "Oh, this guy'd be really funny to talk to." But you see, and maybe it's a part of him being in celebrity status. But just seeing him there, it was kind of weird, and I felt kind of bad for him because he just seemed like he was almost miserable sitting there. And
well, I'm sure the 19th hole in Wheeling wasn't his favorite place, but Soup even said something to him, and he just kind of was like, I think he said. I forget what Soup said. I don't know if it was something about where he lived. I think he's from North Carolina, and he said something. He just kind of was like, whatever.
He was just exhausted.
And he probably gets a lot of people talking to him, like at the bar. And I swear to God, I was standing in the bar because we had been tipped off that he was there, so we were gonna go and try to talk to him.
Not we. Soup wanted to talk to him.
So I went in and I'm at the bar and I'm kind of looking around because he's got the long hair and the mustache, and I was looking around for that. I turned to Jarrett and I said, "He's not fucking here." And Jarrett goes, "Yeah, he is. He's in the corner." And he had a hat on, hair back, and he was kind of just sitting in the corner like bummed out. I don't know. It was weird.
Well, you can, Matt, you could probably attest to this. When you have to be up all the time. Yeah. And you are, and I think the other thing we can equivalent it to is when you manage people, quote unquote, you have to be up, you have to be the positive one, you have to be the guy that drives the ship, quote unquote. Fuck, it is. And when you're massaging people all day, fuck, it is exhausting. So for him to be playing, quote unquote, a character and having to be up like that, and I can see where he would be fucking a little tired at the end of the night.
It can definitely be exhausting when you have a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, whatever it is, whether it's managing, whether it's running an event. Or actually doing those, maybe Job's right. Maybe they want him to play this character that he fucking hates, and he doesn't, and he can't turn down the money, and maybe he's miserable. I doubt that, but you never know.
I doubt it too.
But that's like the Frank the Tank, that guy. Like, do you think if he started going on a diet and being on the treadmill and changing his wardrobe that he would be as noteworthy and noticeable? So they're not going to make these guys change or want them to change.
Which is like, do you shun people that take advantage of people like that? Because obviously,
no.
What's his
life's
name?
Great.
He's definitely got a good life, and he's not like special ed. Like he's not like incapable of thinking for himself. But obviously, Barstool doesn't have around because he's an intellectual. Like he's not there to give.
He is incredibly smart with the Mets, though. He knows so much. He really knows his baseball.
Yeah, but don't they get pissed at him because he yells about the Mets?
Yeah, because he loves the Mets so much. But I tell you, he might not be smart about like anything else, but his baseball knowledge is absolutely incredible.
I would say sports period, though.
I'm sure it is. But I think what Jub's saying is he's not there just solely for his brain.
Yeah, like they're not going to have him. Like if they go into a board meeting and they're having a meeting about what their content's going to be, I doubt he's going to probably.
He's coming in with the jean shorts on.
But I mean, I don't know him. He could be a good guy. I don't know him.
Well, your dad and him shared a couple moments down on the floor at the West Bank Arena. So,
I think he's a dick, but I know.
But is he a character? Is that I don't know.
That's
maybe
fair.
he is. I saw a couple of clips of him when they did that when they did that Barstool anniversary thing they had at whatever, they all dressed up and went to the Radio City or wherever it was at. And he did say about like how this opportunity changed his life and he's doing what he wanted to do and all that. So I guess it's kind of cool.
I was watching Barstool. They have a pretty cool setup when they watch games. You ever see them in that stadium seating?
Yeah.
Kind of gives a little bit of Pine Room vibes. I don't know if they had it first, but
No, I think they stole some stuff from
I
us.
do think they stole some stuff, bastards.
Listen,
hey, you know what? Just partner with us. We're just partner with us a little bit.
They're so big it wouldn't matter. Like even if we try to sue him, how? I mean, it'll crush us.
Matter.
Like I mean, and honestly, he probably has people out there looking for stuff all the time because he.
Well,
does,
that's smart though. That's good.
No,
business.
that's how he wins.
Genius,
that's how he fucking wins. No days off.
We had to talk. I asked Soup and Cooley and Jarrett, and I said, say we get an email from Barstool, and it's to our business email, and it's whatever whoever the lady is that runs the Barstool, but she says, hey, we recognize your talent at the Rough and Rowdy. We appreciate you guys coming. We would like a buyout and $5 million. For all the rights of the Pine Room, the name, all the content, but we are no longer a part of it, and they just absorb the Pine Room into the Barstool. Do you take the $5 million?
To answer your question, yes.
I think you have to.
Well, here's the reason why I say that, and granted, we might not all be on the same page with that because obviously we're all in a little bit of different times of our lives, and I do get that, meaning age and where we're at working and that type of stuff. But if we didn't need that money, what we could do with $5 million, if we try to make money off of $5 million, we could create a whole nother whatever we wanted.
Yeah, that's what we said.
Line,
That's what we said. We'll just make a whole new.
So when you ask that question, you're saying we're done? They're taking our brand, but they're bringing in their own personalities to fill the brand.
Fill the brand.
So like they'll be sending people to your house.
Maybe
you guys be able to live there.
they would. Yeah,
They're taking the house too.
I don't want
maybe.
that. I don't want people 143. I'm good.
It would be 400. It's divided by our 9 guys that are in the business. It would be $450,000 a guy.
That's.
Yeah, I think that's okay.
Yeah, I think that people will be okay with that.
I'm okay with that.
I mean, there's a chance that I'll never see $450,000 ever.
Because the thing is, I added some other clause in there that we can't ever be in the entertainment sphere again. But I mean, if that's not the case, if that wasn't the case, what you could do with that money pulled together to make it even better.
See, I feel like we could go invest it and like make either us into a restaurant nightclub type thing where we still had to hang out, we still could be around people and make and then all of us pitch into where that's our new thing. And and then we just try to build that brand and make money off that and then just live regular lives.
Yeah. I said
I'll be looking forward to this when we actually have this happen.
Yes.
Can you check the email right now, please?
Yeah, I'll check it right now.
Because the email that she would send would be the first. So.
Yeah, but imagine that, our first email we ever
It's
did.
actually not, but it's kind of
like real,
like a real business email.
Here's a question. There's been a lot of times that we've all talked about on how we feel like people grin fuck us and they tell us what we want to hear and this and that. Outside of our group, and I'm not even talking about our group, outside of the podcast group.
So our 9 guys.
Outside of our 9 guys, what would you say I don't want to go the amount of people, the percentage of people that actually believe that we're on an upward trajectory and that we actually may make some sort of, and I don't even know what, because let's be honest, that's all very relevant. Your success and my success definitions are relevant. Are relevant because it's 2 different outlooks.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying in general, I don't want to define successful, but as in that we would maybe make it big. Maybe.
How many people do you think that?
How many people do you think that, oh, you know what, here's the deal. From when they started, my God, maybe they are doing something. What would you say percentage-wise?
I would say a decent percent. I would say they're definitely.
Not rooting for us. Remember, just the fact we're like, oh, fuck, man, they got something going on that I think, man, if they got their break, they could make it big.
I would say definitely below 25%.
I'd say below 5.
You think so?
100%. I still think we get our people. And
what do you say, Jarrett?
Okay.
I was gonna say a little higher than that, but I definitely think there's some
5 or 25.
Probably. I was just say actually a little higher than 25 because I feel like a lot of.
Finish your point, Jeff.
Yeah, go ahead.
I think we have done, like, I'll be honest, if you'd have told me once again that we would be what we'd be doing right now, I'd probably tell you that wasn't 100% sure of where we would be at in the time frame. I still think at the end of the day, we do have a lot of people that it's not that they're not supportive. That's not what I'm getting. I still think we have our people that grin us to get at this.
100%. Yeah,
so, and I do. And that's perfectly fine.
Yeah.
It's no different. Like, I really appreciate them on opposite ends of the spectrum that, when people will try our beer and people are like, I don't like the beer. Well, I get it. It's not going to be everybody's going to like it. So I don't know. I think 5%. What do you got, Matt?
I agree. And I think, again, here, if you don't want to hear this talk, skip to the next break because we're talking about ourselves here. So
yeah, that is kind of
But
gross.
I think it's a good conversation to have for people to hear that we're able to have this conversation. So, Matt, go ahead.
We're pretty transparent. So you said 5. You said
I said below 25. So
what did you say?
And you said a little bit higher than that.
I'd say a little higher than 25. I'm a little optimistic.
I got to be honest. I know this will probably surprise you guys. I actually think it is somewhere in the range of your twos. Like
I
in
agree.
the 25 to 30.
Okay.
And here's why. Because I've actually found it most interesting when I find someone come up to me or any of us and say something about our group. And listen, if you guys, people that know me, I'm not out here publicizing any, like, I'm just regular. I don't mention this stuff unless it's mentioned to me. So when people come up to me and say it, but I have gotten things from people, interesting observations. And I also find it interesting when we have people who are either fringe celebrities or connected to celebrities or in the media realm of things that don't actually know us personally. Some of their comments make me think like, God, like, how are we fooling these people into thinking that this is a good product? Like, but we are being natural, and I think there's something there to that. So I was actually surprised. Like the young guy that came down and interviewed us from News 9, like he acted like, and all credit to him, like he was so respectful, but like he treated us like we were like big deals, and we weren't at all. And then just some of the comments, like even a guy like Mike Florio coming here to sit with us is to me says that he believes enough that we could be something that he would not waste his time. And it wasn't like he was just doing us a favor in something he didn't believe in. I think when people look at our stuff, I think they're a little bit more impressed than maybe they really thought they were going to be.
That's fair.
So I think people who are in the know, I feel like that weights a little higher for me. There's also exactly what you're saying. There's people that fucking say, oh, you guys are doing great and breeding, like just because they know us or they want something from us or whatever. And I get tired of hearing that. But when people are actually proven in their lives and have like legit accomplishments and they compliment us, then I say, maybe we actually have a chance of at least being somewhat of a growing product that people like. So
yeah, I would say
well said, man.
Yeah,
I agree, man.
I definitely agree with that because I think the people that comment on our stuff or that not religiously but kind of regularly watch and observe the stuff that we do, I don't think they would I don't think they would waste their time if we didn't have anything like. And let's be honest, most of what we talk about isn't like earth shattering. Like we're not bringing you the most cutting edge of news or whatever. But like I think people are interested in what we have to bring to the table, and maybe they're just doing that because they like us and they know who we are. But maybe it also maybe they think that there's something there. I don't know. I hope so. Different. I hope so. And I hate. I don't really like talking about ourselves because
me either. I don't like it at all.
Out. But
we never.
But this was a necessary conversation. I think it's fine, and I don't think we haven't been sitting here flattering ourselves at all.
No.
Like we're throwing
so
questions out.
We're
questioning
so
if any of this is even feasible, and if it's not, tell us.
Because let's be honest, if you're looking at if there was a pie chart of success, like if we had a dart and there was a dartboard and there was parts that were success and parts that were this thing's gonna fizzle. A lot of that board would be probably this thing's gonna fizzle at some point.
Yeah.
So I think we're just shooting to find if we hit it, we hit it. If not, we definitely took a hack at it.
The grind is fun.
Last thing, do you think that if by chance if we would become a regional, national household name, is it going to be because of a connection we make, or is it going to be because actually somebody does see us as valuable and they see content?
Yeah, I would say both.
Okay,
both.
Yeah,
That's mine.
I think so.
I think both.
I think what is to our favor.
It's hard to get to the top without help.
Oh, that's 100% fucking true.
For the most part, and I used to say this when I would do stuff by myself on the internet, and it's almost like for the majority, and this is not to discount people that watch our stuff, but it's not like we're getting a lot of feedback. So it's almost like we're talking into the void. And that's really exhausting, like if you're doing it by yourself, but with the group.
And it's hard to gauge how you're doing.
Because for all we know, we could be eating shit right now and just gonna just keep going down. But
Yeah,
for the
people
most
could be-
part, you know, you have 9 guys, and those 9 guys aren't gonna just beat each other off about how great we are. Like for the majority, I'm a very glass half empty. Matt's a realist. Jeff, you're a realist. And then, you know, we have like Soup is an optimist.
Soup and your dad are very positive.
They're
very
very
positive.
Mm-hmm. Jarrett's in
Which we need that balance, though.
We do
and
need that.
I think that having that is it maybe not be as well of a gauge as outside people, but it helps gauge as a group. Without that crowd or an audience to talk to and get feedback from, having an internal group that can feedback off each other and say like, hey, this is not going to work, this is going to work. And that, like, if it was just me right now, I would have quit this a long time ago. Like, it would have just fizzled out because there's no way I could have kept going talking into the void. Like, I've tried it before and I failed. And it's like you talk into the void and you don't have any feedback, so it's nothing's coming out of it.
It's like being on a team. Like each day you need another player to help
Exactly.
rise and bring the group up.
Exactly.
And somebody's got to step up in a different way. And yeah, when you're down and I'm down, and then you got other guys rising it up, and then something we do brings the rest of the group up.
Like Soup's always kind of
Soup's
a
a hell of a
silver
fucking
lining
buoy,
guy.
man.
Yeah.
He floats us to the
'Cause
top.
There's times where we put something out, like, and even to be real, the Florio thing, like, I thought that was gonna get much more attention than it did, and like after that kind of like comes out, doesn't get as great of attention. Jarrett did great with the reels, and those got a lot of attention. But like just the videos itself, and even like we definitely did the Highsmith stuff way too early, because that was like, I mean, that was when we had 200 followers. But whatever. But when you see that, and I'm like, if that doesn't work, then I'm like, well, there's another fail. And Soup's like, hey, look at this. Check this out. Or there's this opportunity in the future. So having a group that can kind of, it's like our metaphorical thing, or the hypothetical. It's like you're in a boat, and right now we're kind of constantly sinking because we're not like on the rise.
Jeez, I don't know about that.
No,
Well,
you jump out and you're like, fuck this,
Yeah,
I'm gonna go
it's
drown,
like
and then we
Throw
pull
the
you
fat
back
guy
in.
out.
Well, it's like we're taking on water and we're still afloat. You know, we're
all bailing
keeping
it out.
alive, but there are 9 guys bailing, or there's, let's say, 8 guys bailing water, and eventually one of those guys has to take a break of being positive. So then that guy's been positive for a while, and something happens, and he goes and sits at the back of the boat, and then whoever was just taking a rest, they jump in and they grab the heels and they start bailing water. So it's like we're all equally keeping each other afloat, even though this might not be the most successful thing right now. I think we've done a heck of a lot.
Oh my God.
I think we've done more than we probably planned to do or could imagine we did, but there's still a lot of work to be done. Like these podcasts, I mean, they're not reeling in massive amounts of attention, but you know, we're chipping away and we're doing the best we can. But I think we're doing good. All in all, to wrap it up, put it in a bow, I think we're doing good.
I would agree.
And people should tell us what they
Yes,
think.
that's the thing. If you listen to this, and obviously if you listen to it on podcast, you're not going to be able to comment because you can't. I don't think you can comment on spot. Can you comment?
I don't. Yeah, there's I think there's a Q&A
But
or feedback.
Just go to
thing
the
on
social
Yeah.
media. And some
Yeah,
people,
social media,
honestly, email is almost outdated now.
email,
And here's-
YouTube, subscribe, comment.
I know
like.
that we have a very kind of a, not a cult following, but like a smaller following that listens regularly, that listens to all the stuff that we've done.
Yeah.
So like, if what would help me out is like, and I think what would help a lot of us out is if people want to hear something, like if there's something that people want to hear us.
We're
talk
very
about.
multifaceted. We've said this before. If there's a topic that you want us to talk about, chances are a few of us in the group are going to have a little bit of knowledge
Yeah.
about it.
And if we
we're
don't,
very diverse.
If we don't, we're willing to learn.
Yes, and that's totally something else I think we don't act like know-it-alls. We don't want to do that on the radio. We don't want to do that in here. We obviously, I love to learn. We all love to learn in different areas, and we will continue to try to. So if you want to challenge us, we take it on. That's what's cool about it. One thing I do think too, Jub, just to kind of go off of what you were saying about listenership and stuff, I feel like, I don't know how we're going to do this, and we would take any suggestions. Merging our radio audiences and our podcast.
Yeah, that's tough.
Podcast audiences.
Yeah, that's tough.
Because that is like, I have so many compliments we'll get from the radio, and then you'll get the podcast people, and it's like, it seems like only a few listen to both.
Mm-hmm. I think what would be really good is, and we have to eventually, and this is probably something we could talk about behind the snes, but yeah, this is like
fully
an open
transparent
meeting.
here.
Open meeting here.
It's like the Biden administration.
Yeah, I think that
Right.
yeah, you're gonna cut my mic off here in about 10 seconds.
Well, it's better than saying Putin. We'll get banned in Russia again.
Oh wait, yeah, that for some reason we always get banned in Russia.
But Mongolia, keep listening.
I think it's just like it's two totally different platforms. I think radio, especially like if I would go to like Luke's generation and say, "Hey, we're on the radio," I don't think that holds a lot of credence with that demographic. Whereas like an older, which I would assume a lot of our older crowd,
most of the comments are coming from
older
40
folks,
and older.
Yes, on the radio, which I think we do a really good job of not being. Listen, if you haven't listened to our radio show, you're missing out, because we're not this boring ass vanilla like bullshit radio show where we talk about the
weather.
like,
Well, we do talk about the weather.
And we
Whatever.
don't repeat a lot of things that you hear in all these other shows. Like, I listen to a lot. We all follow a lot of content. We don't. Like, ours is very
So
different. And I'm not saying that to say we're good or anything. But
because we're not
but
professionals. like
we're
Matt.
very, very different. You're not going to hear shows like ours. I've never heard one like it. And that's not to say that we're any good. We're trying to be better.
And
But
I'll say today I got a message while we were on the radio that our friend, when we were talking about the mascot, the Wheeling Park mascot, a friend of mine said that he had just tuned in. He said he was literally crying in the car laughing about just how stupid. But it was stupid, but it's just, though I feel like the way that we deliver it is just, it's different. The way it's just completely different than anything.
We're not going to tell you what we're talking about because you got to find out on
yourself.
the radio.
Yeah, there you go.
And
Friday noon to 3, you'll figure it out quick.
Oh yeah,
it's not, like I said, it's not some vanilla ass boring like us talking about politics or whatever. The biggest headline in the news, because everybody hears about that. You're all hearing about Aaron Rodgers blowing his Achilles out.
We talked about that for what, a minute?
What?
that was pretty impressive. Yeah. You
Well,
knew that.
Well, yeah. See, I don't even care. But it's like we hit on it for about 3 seconds and then moved on to how ugly Prince Francis I was. Like,
Yeah. Well, your dad said it actually perfect when he said, like, what else is there to talk about Aaron Rodgers? Like, every point has already been said. Why do we need to say it? What are these idiots from West Virginia? What do they know
Like,
more than anyone else?
we don't have any more knowledge than the closest people to Aaron
But
Rodgers.
what we can tell you about is Francis the First
He
and
was
his,
ugly
and
as
his
shit.
looks. And we can tell you about
said.
the topic we were talking about, the mascots. And we'll just leave it at that.
I tell you what, tomorrow when you're hearing this, Friday, I think it's going to be a crazy show. I think we had last Friday we had like what? How many people showed up? Probably 7 or 8.
Yeah, I'd say.
And our Friday shows, for people that don't know, our Fridays are on location. So we're in.
We never know what you're gonna get.
Gumby's in Elm Grove.
I think-
so. We just sit there and talk and watch all the traffic go by and have a good time.
Yeah, I think
They've been really fucking fun.
But we still try to have some semblance of a show.
yeah.
And that's like, even like our show plans, we don't always stick to them, but some of the things we do, like, we prioritize what's important that day, and that's how we do it.
And it's not like there's structure to it. It's not like
Right.
we're just like coming on there, turning the mics on and talking.
Like,
about
we have
some
no
nonsense.
idea what we're going to talk
Yeah.
about.
It's structured.
Kinda like
Matt does
this
a great
tonight.
job. Matt does a great job putting a plan together, and we talk about a lot of cool stuff. So if you haven't listened to the radio, go listen to the radio. We'll
listen
take a break.
tomorrow noon.
We'll take a break here in a second. But I think to put all this in a capsule, I think the main issue with the stuff that we're doing, especially in the entertainment industry, not that we're physically entertainers like our great sponsor, Jill's Gentlemen's Club, but hey, although there might be some people that will like that.
A class act.
I
Probably
don't-
not us.
I think that the biggest issue with all the stuff that we're doing is not. I think we put on good quality stuff. I think that's what we take pride in, is doing good quality stuff. And I hate talking like I'm like trying to, pat my own back. But I think the issue is just getting people to see it. Mm-hmm. I think that's it. It's like once you put it in that gigantic pool of content that's already out there, it gets so diluted like that you're not going to be able to get it to a bunch of different people. It's like you need that one thing.
Mm-hmm. That's legit too.
Yep.
And one day we'll find it. But yes, for now, enjoy the Pine Room Podcast for what it is. This is one day maybe you'll look back on this and go, man, these are the good old days. Us sitting here in our tin pot studio talking about whatever. But
in a few years from now, we'll be begging down by Perkins.
Yep.
Yes. Please help. Anything helps.
God bless.
I'm gonna be on crutches.
We're gonna take a break here. We'll be right back.
You're listening to the Pine Room Podcast, and don't think you're the only one listening. Welcome to the Pine Room Podcast.
So we've had a new addition to the Pine Room Studios. I don't know if you follow our social media, you might have seen it.
Nobody's having a baby,
Yeah.
don't worry.
No, yeah.
Yeah, it was just a quick little thing that Soup put out. I think we'll do a better announcement later in the week.
I'd like to get him on the show. I think he'll do a really good job. Anyway, we have hired our very first intern for the Pine Room Studios. We planned to do that a while back. It was in our pitch for the Wheeling Heritage, and we were on the fringe of doing it, and it's never happened. But recently, Soup reached out to West Liberty University, and we were lucky to take on our newest friend of the studio. And what did Soup say his title was going to be?
Business.
The director of business development.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah,
Director of Business Development. We'll go with that.
Yeah, Director of Business Development. Derek Rayner is now on our team. Derek, he's
the intern.
Let's go. Let's go.
Derek the intern.
Derek the intern.
Yeah.
Derek.
Yeah. He's a good
aboard.
dude. He's a good dude. You'll see some stuff. Maybe he might be in some videos. He might come hang out with us, be on the show a couple times, be on the radio. But yeah,
he made his Pine Room debut. Him and his girlfriend Maddie on Saturday.
Yeah. Made him a pizza.
Yeah, they had a good time.
Yeah.
Hopefully they weren't scared off. I was waiting for him to text Soup over the way. I said, I can't be a part of this. You guys are animals. No.
Yeah,
I think that he might have liked us a little bit more after that.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, that's the thing. We didn't change who we were.
Yeah,
if you didn't like it, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Maybe
I think it's really cool. We have an intern now, so he's going to be doing a lot of marketing. He'll work closely with Soup. I don't know. People don't know this, that Soup is like our main marketer, but he's going to work with Soup and do some stuff. So you're going to see a little bit of Derek later in the future. Maybe see a post about him and different stuff. But yeah, welcome aboard, Derek. If you listen to this, it's going to be pretty cool to. It's pretty cool to.
Yeah.
It's odd because it's one thing. It's like this has been our group for such a long time. Well, it's not that long, but like a year and 19 months. We figured that out today.
Well, I'm actually working together, whereas we were always together anyway.
Yeah.
My entire
It's like
life, 25 years.
like
for you guys.
a business together, it's been 19 months. But outside of that, then like Matt said, like it's been 10 years.
And not to contradict you, Job, it wasn't that it did not just happen. It was more from a standpoint, it's everything that we've done with this podcast. We've truly tried to make sure that we were ready for the next step. And I feel like we had to do some work to get to the point to get somebody on as an intern. Even though that was our promise when we did Show of Hands.
So we're not wasting their time,
We're not wasting their time. The fact of we wanted to make sure that we created a product that would be beneficial to an intern, to be able to piggyback. We talked about doing the local scene with the colleges and stuff like that. We wanted to benefit them as well. It's just like everything else we've done with this podcast. We've tried to thoroughly develop a plan and really critically think through, as crazy as all that sounds, but it is very true that we just didn't want to throw something in the wall and see what the fuck sticks. We wanted to make sure that it was going to be something concrete so they weren't wasting their time.
Because then it's like you don't want an intern to come at the very beginning of this and then sit around and not have shit to do.
That wouldn't be fair to anybody. And then we'd be over promising, under delivering, and that's what we've tried to avoid this whole time.
I think it's
we
great
have a
timing.
stable product now. Well, to some extent.
Knock on wood,
Stable to a certain degree. We're putting out the same things. We're pretty organized as far as our show releases go for a weekly basis. So at least we're have our feet under us enough that we can bring someone else in and help them and then help us in the group succeed even further, hopefully.
It's definitely a weird feeling. I mean, it's a good feeling. It's kind of neat to be able to say we hired somebody which is cool. But yeah, Derek's going to be a part of the team for a little while. Who knows? We might have some more people hop on board later down the line. But yeah, we'll see where that goes. We got a couple big projects in the works, so those guys are definitely going to be a part of planning and helping make those come to fruition. So we'll like to see what they do.
I hate to revert back to the first segment, but we were talking about superstars and how they handle their business. Did you guys read, and I know people hate this guy, but I'm not a hater. I can't hate greatness, but like a Tom Brady, did you see where he had a locker room he purposely asked for nobody to be in his next locker to him because he would be so good about people dropping things off to sign as autographs, and that's what that spot was for.
I didn't see that. That was really, really cool, actually.
I think that's actually pretty badass.
Yeah, that was neat.
I mean, somebody of his caliber that truly could tell you to go fuck yourself in a heartbeat, and nobody would even think differently of it.
You can like him or hate him, whatever, but I do not know how you can't respect him. I mean, I'm by no means Patriot fan, Buck fan.
No, not even close.
I mean, you cannot help but respect a guy like that. I mean, the guy he just personifies greatness, and that's all there is to it.
They also talked about in the article how he treats everybody the same, meaning as in if it's Robert Kraft walking through, or it's 6:30 at night, it's the janitor. He's treating the janitor just as he is Robert Kraft, and I do think that makes people so much different when you are at that status. How you can still bring back and be normal and things like that. So I agree, Matt. It's hard to root against somebody like that.
I've never been a Tom Brady hater. I don't. I actually got to see him play down in Tampa, which was really cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think
they got their ass kicked.
I don't know. I mean, I just know that he's good. Like, I mean, I know that if you were to ask me to name 5 players in the NFL, well, if anybody know, I don't know sports, but Tom Brady would be the one that I mentioned. But yeah, I don't know. I think some of those guys that are good just get flack from other fans of other teams because he's good.
People hate. Yeah, I mean, they hate. But you can you can root against the guy but still respect him. Like, there's a difference there. Just like having different opinions. We can disagree, but we still can respect each other's opinion. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with that.
Not at all.
Hey, I want to talk real quick. Totally different. What do you?
No, I have something way off the line because I just was scrolling through my computer and it just popped up.
So I was going to talk about right before we came on the air, right before we came on here.
On the air.
We were on the air earlier.
Yeah,
it's been a long day.
Jeff, you paid an enormous. We won't say where, but you paid an enormous amount for food, and I was wondering, can we say the price, or should we?
I don't care about that. I probably wouldn't say where it's at.
I know we won't say it's from, but you paid a little over.
It would have been with tip. It was $1.95.
Okay, so that's a lot.
And this was in the Wheeling area.
Yes, that's not. It wasn't. He wasn't in New York. He wasn't in downtown Pittsburgh.
When this was for
let's back up real quick. That is not bragging. That is more from a standpoint that I'm pissed that I had to.
Yes,
pay it.
That I was getting.
Our point is, it's going to be. It seems overpriced for the area.
Yes.
He wasn't out on the Hamptons for the weekend.
And we're not. That's not like on the company card. We're not making thousands and thousands of dollars.
Yeah.
So my point.
Jarrett eats Chipotle every fucking meal.
Yeah. I had it before this.
We're definitely not getting rich quick.
So
that's for sure.
My question was going to be, what is if you went to a restaurant and you saw what is the most you would pay for a meal? Like is that like close to the cap you would pay for 2 meals? To
answer your question, no. I don't really like talking about this because this is dumb. No, it's just dumb because no. To answer your question, no.
What I'm trying to get to is like.
No, go ahead.
Don't have to talk about it.
No, because that's dumb. I hate because it just automatically.
I know
because perception.
Yeah.
I hate that.
I know what I have mine.
What would you? Go ahead.
Well, for me, it's low because when I get to eat, I mean, my average meal when we got 15 to 20, I'd say $10 to $20 for my meal every time I got to eat because
that's awesome. Though.
Oh yeah, and I'd say my cap I'd say very high.
Put
it $40.
You and a girl together. What's your cap? Like a couple.
Together.
A girl you like, not just some girl.
Then I would go. I'd pay upwards of probably $100
Yeah,
for
okay.
two. Yeah,
That's
I get that.
at
100%.
my stage in my life.
That's what I'm saying, and
Yeah.
it's all very relevant that way as well.
But
I
it
mean,
has to, she has to be good looking and the right person.
Oh,
I'm not paying.
come on.
We know that.
I'm
Jared.
He's
I
not
know.
taking
Jared,
some
I
fucking
see
ugly
that.
girl out. You're
I
taking the
know.
ugly ones to Ponderosa.
she's making you pay.
Yeah.
She's
Doing
gonna
it.
pay if she's.
No,
yeah,
she's
yeah,
paying.
she's
Yeah.
paying.
We're
no,
going
she's
to like
not.
ice cream or something.
Don't
yeah.
you know I'm a celebrity?
You're
Yeah.
going to the
Give me
feeding
a
trough.
cone, bitch.
Where are you? What's the feeding trough?
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Golden Corral.
Or
Yeah.
Melman's.
Yeah,
her
the
a-
feeding trough.
Get her
and
one of those
Yeah, the
things you
feed
put on
bag.
a horse. Yeah.
Jebber, what about you? Because you're a food connoisseur.
Well, yeah. So that my point to that was, do you think necessarily that the price of a restaurant and a price of food necessarily indicates the quality of the
Hell
food?
No.
No.
Because
Sadly, no.
like my favorite meal, without a doubt, is just a good burger and hand cut fresh fries. Like that to me is by far, and I would pay good money for that. What pisses me off is like when I go to, like we say, for instance, we go on these cruises and the food's good, and there are certain scenarios where there are other restaurants on the boat where you can get expensive meals, like real expensive meals. And I've seen some people put on social media like restaurants in Pittsburgh, like that, like high class, where you're up in a skyscraper and you're getting your meal. Like to me, if I'm taking a date to a meal, I want it to be something where we can go and enjoy and have a lot of food and enjoy, where it's like if we go to some fancy schmancy place where you're getting small portions for a shit ton of money, and to me, that's not a quality dining experience. Like that to me is not, I would rather pay more for the other experience than I would that. Like,
And I do get that too. I think you're using the word experience. See, I think to me, I'm willing to even pay extra money for the experience.
yeah.
Yes.
So if I go into a restaurant and the food's good and the ambiance is good, the waitress is kicking ass and making me feel warm and fuzzy,
Yes.
I have no problems of, paying for a little bit of the combo deal with the food and the experience.
You don't even think about the bill after
You
that.
really don't.
Like when the experience all around is great, you don't even think about what you're paying.
And our experience, and I don't want to say that our experience was bad because it really wasn't bad, but I know that I walked out of there that I was a little butthurt that I just paid that kind of money
Like
for a meal in Wheeling, West Virginia.
You didn't come out where like, man, that was awesome.
It was good.
Well worth it.
It was it was good. It was really good. But to say that, yeah, I did not do that.
Yeah. But I think it's like, again, I'm going to bring this movie up. If you have seen this movie, it's called The Menu. And one of the points that is made in the movie that's kind of a secondary point, it's like some restaurants make the food out to be this almost an art display, like of, I can't remember where it was. We had something that was like, I'll tell you, it was Antigua. We were in a really nice restaurant, but they gave you like a squid with leaf on it, and it told you like a little thing about the squid and stuff like that. And to me, it's like there's no joy, there's no love there. There's no, like, if I get a burger that's greasy and there's fries that just came out of the fryer and the lady comes over and fills me up a Diet Coke, that to me is a loving experience. You know that chef back there, like when I went down to North Carolina, I shook the guy's hand that made my burger because it was because he's not trying to do it to impress me. He's not doing it because he's just making burgers. That's, he just likes to cook and make burgers. But I think that having the experience where it's not like, if like Matt said, if the experience is great, I think Jeff, you said, if the experience is great, the ambiance is good, the waiter's great, and it's, to me, I don't need any of the fancy, like this chicken was, he grew up in the
farm
halls
raised
of,
and his name was Corey.
Yeah, and he fed only off of Himalayan.
Is that with a K or a C?
Corey the chicken.
K-H-O-R-I-E.
Corey the chicken.
So
That's
Matt, what about
awesome.
you then? I guess where do you fall into this?
Well, I've said before, like, I'm kind of a food snob, so
I wouldn't say you're a snob,
but like my dad took us to very nice restaurants,
Yeah.
and not like we were some wealthy silver spoon family. Like, my parents did well, but they worked hard, and it wasn't like we were rich.
Well,
people.
your dad takes food serious.
Yeah, he's a good chef himself.
He's a good
So we
food
got
guy.
a taste for good experience, but it's like what Jeff said. my dad would take us to places. Normally, it would be a place that he had already scouted out, so he knows that the staff is good, the price is, even if it's a little bit high, it's worth it. The quality of the food is fantastic. The whole experience is fantastic. To me, you're paying for everything there. There's so many different classifications of restaurants, and I like what you were saying about certain things that just like make you feel like this is like my kind of an idea of a great meal, a great atmosphere. And even if it's something that costs $15.
Yes.
Because I have favorites that are expensive, and I don't mind paying for stuff like that. I would say I'd pay $200 to $300 with a date or whatever. Like, not even think twice about it if the whole experience was great. The food quality was good, service was good. You got a guy playing piano, whatever it is you're into, and it's just the lighting is good, and just you get a good comfy feel.
Yeah.
But some of my favorite meals are when you find a place that is not super expensive, but even if it is, it doesn't matter. But my point would be not super expensive. You can find diamonds in the rough that still have that quality about them. The setting is perfect, the service is great, and what you're getting is a specialty food. Like, so my favorite restaurant in Ocean City is a place called Pho Char. It's a Vietnamese place. And don't ask me why. It's not seafood. It's not stuff you would associate with the beach, but we can't get it around here. And whatever it is about that restaurant, especially when I was living over there for an extended period, it was just the one restaurant that I felt like I would go to 3 days a week, and I absolutely loved it every single time. And it's a $17 to $20 priced thing.
Where
now.
was that? Is that
That's a
down
great
towards
problem
the
to
It's in the
have.
boardwalk?
plaza, in the Food Line Plaza. But it's a really, really well run place. Not super expensive. It's not going to blow your mind, but maybe it will, because it's just whatever. It's my favorite thing, and it's like it meets your niche.
Yeah,
but then I can go out to a place that's a $200 fish restaurant that I like equally as much, but maybe isn't exactly the comfort level that you're saying.
What
So
do you
like,
get there
find,
at the Vietnamese place? I can't say
normally I'll
I've even had
get
Vietnamese.
the pho soup, like the noodle soup, but with the spices and the things that they do, and it's truly authentic Vietnamese, and it hits every sense. Just visually, it's beautiful. Your taste, your smell, everything. It just takes your breath away. And I mean, it's like a eating experience to me, and it's not very expensive.
All right, well, whenever we go back to Ocean City.
And I mean, it's not for
I
everybody.
wanna-
I've
we gotta
taken
write
people
this
there.
down. I
Like,
wanna
I've had
go.
my brother loves it. Like Curry, he's lukewarm about it. I don't know how many other people we've taken, but it's just one of those places that you just stumble upon. It's great, and I would pay Jeff like $100 for that meal,
Exactly.
and just because of all the things that I mentioned. But
Well, you used the word comfortable, so I already know your answer. You two guys then. So you talked about you went to in Antigua, you went to a really, really high-end restaurant. Are you comfortable in that setting?
Not really. Like, to me, it's too much of a show. Like, it's too much of we had to dress up like not like super fancy, not like suit and tie, but like
dressy beach attire.
Yeah,
type
it's like
stuff.
business casual kind of almost, and it's just like if I'm gonna go enjoy a meal, I want to wear exactly what I have on when I leave the house. I want to wear a t-shirt and shorts, and I want to order a side of barbecue sauce for me to dip my burger in. Like, I don't want to have to, I don't want.
But that is truly Job, and that's what makes Job, and that's super fucking badass, dude. It
Do you
really
feel
is.
comfortable in places like that you could go like you are right now, but you could also go in a suit with some coworkers? Like, I feel like I like places like that too. That's very flexible.
Yeah.
Where you could go there with some work colleagues after work and still have your dress clothes on, but then you come in like that and you're not sticking out for the wrong reasons.
It's like my two places that I have recently. Well, one place that I like longer than the other is Panda up here on Market Street. It's not like, if you look at the outside and you look in the inside, you'd think and listen, nothing against these people because they're working to make a living. The restaurant is not like 5-star. It's not. You're not getting gold leafed, chicken, whatever. You're getting your typical Chinese food. It's good. It's solid.
It's so good.
It's the people
It's
are
unhealthy.
nice. I learned.
So you guys prefer that over? I guess we're just naming names since you did. Like a golden chopsticks, silver. Or you like all those kind of the same par?
I can't say that I like. I probably like. Here's a point. I like this one a little better because I got to know one of the ladies there. Her name is
Because you feel comfortable in there.
She taught me. Her name is Sinsu Shao, and she talked about I was asking her stuff about how to say stuff in Chinese, and she was very nice to me, and she knew who I was when I would come in.
Which is important too.
And I would come up to the
big.
register, and she said she would repeat my order.
Hello, Jeb.
Yes, she would say, and you know what she would do too. When I went in with him once, she was in there, and then I went in with my dad, and she came in. The first thing she said was, "Where's your dad and brother?" And I was like, they're doing something else today. And she goes, all right, well, you want the usual? You want white meat, orange chicken, fried rice? Boom. To me, that makes me feel like she
without a doubt.
She might not care about me. She might not care about what I did today, but she cares enough to remember what I ordered.
Fill your stomach.
Yes.
In a good quality food.
So, and not to say that Golden isn't great, because I absolutely love Golden Chopsticks, and I love the dining experience over there because it's nice, and you get tea
place.
and all that kind of stuff. China Walk and Elm Grove is fantastic. It's a great little hole in the wall, fantastic shop. But there's something to be said about people that care about you and that are willing to take that extra step.
What about you, Jarrett? About going into
Chipotle, Jarrett.
Yeah,
they know your order before you walk in.
If you would go to when you guys went to Antigua, are you happy with that experience, or is that not your thing?
It doesn't blow me away. To me, I'm not a huge foodie, a big food guy. If I go, I get a good meal, I'm fine.
You're like your
chicken
dad.
if I go,
you're eating to fill a need.
Yes, exactly.
And it's you're a pretty simple eater.
Exactly. I'm very, very simple. I don't really.
Sometimes I wish that was the case for me.
I'm not gonna complain too much or really be too high on a place, but.
I will say there's not many places that I've come away for that I actively disliked. I think the only place I've ever been that I don't like is Applebee's, and because they spilled our food on the floor.
Well, that would do it.
But other than that, I've never come away from a place and been like, that was an absolutely god awful meal.
Oh yeah,
maybe
yeah, you have Jimmy John's.
Oh yeah, fuck them. Well, I didn't even eat. But I think the only other place maybe is a buffet, but that's not
Yeah.
Even then, I can find stuff I like.
Oh,
you gotta watch with those,
Golden Corral.
I mean,
come away with. I do. I think I just like to eat. I just like to eat.
What Golden Corral? When we would go on road trips and we would go to Golden Corral when I was playing in college. And
did you ever go to Ryan's?
Oh yeah, I went to Ryan's and Golden Corral. Guys would get steaks and be so excited to get steaks from Golden Crown. I'm like, dude,
yeah, I know.
And we'd have guys lining up, waiting.
That's
how would you like your steak? And I'm like, dude, I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm going to the mac and cheese and the chicken tenders, and that's good. I'm it. That's fine with me.
That's kind of when you know, that you maybe you are kind of a food snob. In my case, you're seeing these people rave about steaks at Golden Corral. It's oh God, I would I would rather eat Jub's burger meat than that.
Yeah, 100%.
And again, nothing against it. People that like that stuff, and it's people that rave about the wings there. It's oh boy.
Wow, you got.
I mean, it is.
If you like them, I'm not knocking anybody. It's just to me, my idea of a good piece of meat is going to be at minimum a $50 cut of steak. You know,
If Golden Corral wings are what you enjoy and that's your favorite meal, then good for you. That makes me feel good that you can find something that you love that's that cheap and that.
It is. It's truly awesome.
Do you do you cook?
No, not at all.
Not at all?
I'll grill a little bit, but outside of that, no.
Matt, you cook.
I wish I did.
I cook a lot, yeah.
Yeah, I think I don't cook a lot, but when I do, I if I was to, one of the question was, here's a question. We'll throw this around. Since you don't cook, I'll throw you under the fire here. If a top tier, if you were in a let's see, if you were in a restaurant and they said, Jeff Doyle, come back here, you have to cook one meal.
Oh God, that poor bastard's got to eat that.
You have to cook one meal to impress. Soup's calling me. Soup, you're live on the podcast. Say hello.
Bing bong, what's up?
What are you doing?
Nothing. I was just checking in. I hope everyone's having a good day.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Matt, Jeff, and Jarrett are here.
Hey, fellas, have a good one.
You got anything to say to the podcast fans?
What do you call a snail that's on a ship?
A snailer.
Attaboy, peace out.
There you go. There's soup. What was I saying? Oh, you got it. And they say, hey, you got to cook one thing to impress, not to impress, but to make these people have an enjoyable experience.
Steak. I can do meat. If I can cook on the grill, and I actually do a decent job, but at the end of the day, I'm not out kicking her coverage. So why in the fuck am I going to do it when she's going to make it way better than me? So
what do you think Cheryl's is?
Meatballs.
No, I'll be honest with you. That's
meatballs are probably simple for her.
Yeah. She did. I'll be honest with you. There's nothing. She's
cook.
one of those people that she's not afraid to tackle anything.
Yeah. Does she like to experiment?
She loves it. Like she's trying to be creative with our desserts this weekend.
Cool.
Yeah.
Any hints?
I think. Well, I'll tell you. She's one of them you guys have, but like she wanted to do some kind of pumpkin / chocolate chip like bread.
Oh God.
Yummy.
She's also doing some kind of angel food cake that's got chocolate pudding with a whipped cream and like shaved Sarah's chocolate on top of it. Yeah, but she's creative. She's a creative
I'll say
mind.
this, and I'm not exaggerating. I've had a lot of desserts in my life. I don't know if you can tell by my physique, but I have to tell you that Boston cream pie.
Did we eat it? Did it go?
It didn't go, but it was in my house for about a week.
The only reason why is because it wasn't out.
I know, and then we got it out late.
We
had a few people had some.
Yeah,
some
that was the
pieces,
problem because it had to
we
be
had
refrigerated.
To put it in the fridge, and we forgot.
So that might
it.
not be a good thing moving
I'm
forward.
not kidding you. It was one of the best things I've ever had.
That's cool. I'll let her know.
Dessert-wise, is one of the best things I've ever had. And I love Boston cream pie. Anyway, Matt, you got to cook one thing to make people happy.
I could do a lot of things. I have tried a lot of stuff. I like to experiment. I like to do my own variations of certain recipes. I honestly could do. I have a wide range of things. I don't know what I could pick. It would depend on the person. I'd have to gauge it for them. But I think I could make people happy to some extent. Yeah, I don't know. I could do a lot.
I'm making a bitchin' grilled cheese.
I knew you were gonna say
grilled cheese.
See, but I think
it's simple,
I
though.
think there's something to be like. I don't think anybody would. If you could make a good grilled cheese, I don't think there's anybody that.
And
would
I
be
could
like,
change it up. Maybe I put a little pepperoni on it, a little sauce, maybe some bacon. Switch it up a little bit. I love a grilled cheese.
Simple as
I love a grilled cheese. Wow, what do you make a burger, Joe?
Burger, 100%.
This is so weird that we're bringing this up because I was scrolling on my computer and this popped up. What is the worst meal you've ever made? I know mine, and it's not really even a meal. It was just the whole process of it. I was making these protein pancakes, and delightful. And it was just a bitch. The batter was a mess, and I burnt the whole thing. And then right after that, I dropped my phone, and it hit the side of the glass bowl and shattered my phone, and it was a
that's not a
disaster.
good day. That's not a good day.
I almost grabbed the bowl and whipped it outside, and it was like the pizza paddle. Jeff, you weren't there. Job had a little meltdown over the weekend.
Oh, really?
Over on Saturday? Actually, explain yourself real quick.
I guess this kind of classifies as a bad meal. Matt, what's your worst meal? Go ahead
The worst meal that I've ever made?
Yeah.
So I would say the worst possible outcome for a meal that could ever be is when you overcook your meat. So, I mean, whether it's a burger, I like my burgers to the medium to the rare side, actually, which I know a lot of places won't cook them like that.
Yeah.
Steak, too. So if I leave a steak on too long or I'm not used to the heating source that I'm using at the time, and it gets to anywhere past medium or even medium, that really, really pisses me off. So that would be ruined to me. And even if some people would like it, it would taste like a fucking shoe to me, and I wouldn't like it. So
I'd like it.
Overcooked meat is the worst thing ever.
Mine was one time we were in the Pine Room. I think it was last year, and 2 years ago, my dad wanted to do a Philly cheesesteak, and instead of getting like shaved meat that is made for cheesesteaks, he wanted to take actual steaks and shave them, like cut them real thin and turn them into a cheesesteak.
Right.
Well, what happened was I tried that, and I'm up there sweating my ass off trying to do
remember this.
And I cut that steak, and instantly, if you cut a steak on the griddle or the Blackstone, if you cut it while it's on there, it instantly gets dry because you're just losing all the juice inside of it. And I remember taking it off the stove, and I went to take a bite of it, and I literally could have bit that wood, and it would have been more appetizing than a steak. And it was so disheartening because I think we ended up ordering pizzas that day.
We did.
I do remember that.
But that was awful. I absolutely hated that. So this weekend in the Pine Room, we were making pizzas. And did you have any of the pizza?
Mm-mm.
So we were making pizzas from scratch, and we were doing dough, and then we did some pre-made dough, and I had not pre-made dough, but I guess it is pre-made dough.
And this is in your wood fire pizza oven.
Yes, it's like it kind of looks like I don't even know what to describe it as. It's like it looks like a turtle shell that has a hole in it. You shove pizza in, and there's fire inside of it. Anyway,
It's a really good explanation.
Ninja turtle with a fire inside of it.
So I'm making this dough, and it's the Pillsbury out of the tube, and I put cornmeal on it and put toppings on a cooking or on a cutting board, and I'm putting toppings on, and I got to transfer it from the cutting board over to the pizza paddle so I can throw it into the oven. I have no one around me to help. And I wasn't going to bother anybody, so I'm over there, and I have the handle between my legs, and the front of the paddle where the pizza would go was resting on the table, and I'm pulling the dough off the cutting board onto the pizza paddle, and as I pull it onto the paddle, and it finally gets onto the paddle, and I put time into this one, I put banana peppers, jalapenos, pepperoni, 2 types of cheeses, sauce, and I made the crust nice, and I pull it onto the paddle. As soon as I pull on the paddle, the dough catches, and it pulls the paddle off the table. So then the paddle just falls right into and all the shit just falls right into the mulch. So I was already pissed because I had this bottle of marinara sauce, and I was squeezing it. Had a brand new pair of shorts on and a brand new shirt that my mom had gotten me. I squeeze the bottle, and a chunk gets stuck in the nozzle.
Oh, fuck.
And as I squeeze, it gets stuck and explodes out of the nozzle, gets all over my shirt, all over my pants, on my socks, and on my new flip-flops. So that pissed me off to begin with.
Well, you had a whole new outfit while you're cooking pizza.
Well, I didn't think it was going to be as messy as it had been the first time, and I thought maybe I'll just get some flour on me. So then then the fucking pizza fell, and I took that paddle and I threw it into the yard. And it stuck into the.
It looked like a javelin going in.
But then I went inside. I changed clothes and came out. We actually had a good couple of pizzas.
It was a new day.
He was good.
Well, Greek.
This is why Jeff says I don't want to cook. That's why.
Right? 100%.
Yes.
That
Like
sounds
that.
frustrating. I'll eat, but I don't want to cook.
Yeah, Greek went over into the kitchen and he saw the pizza on the ground, and this made my dad just lose it. And Greek looked at it and said, "Well, pizza's done." And I don't know why my dad just absolutely lost it at that.
What are some scenarios that, and we can take a break right after this. What are some scenarios that set you off like that? Like, have you ever had a meltdown where it's like something pisses you off? One of my dad's coaches. He'll be fucking around with the Tupperware underneath the drawers, like trying to get Tupperware out in the
everything
back,
falls.
and then it falls, and then it comes out into the kitchen, and he'll take one arm and he'll shove it all the way in the back and rip all the Tupperware out so that it goes everywhere, and you can hear it. Same with pots and pans, same with cookie trays. Like, he does the same thing every time. So do you have any of those scenarios where you've had like a meltdown?
I don't have one off the top of my head, but I can honestly say my patience level has dwindled over the years. So
You think?
I have a lot more now than I ever have.
I'd say you don't come off as somebody that would have a freak out.
I think unfortunately, my poor wife and son is probably the ones that get to witness my true bad sides. Unfortunately, yeah.
I think Coach was dealing with I think it was a leaf blower, and he couldn't start it. And I think
That's what mine was going to be.
I think it snapped, and it pissed him off, and he just took the leaf blower and threw it over the hill. Like, have you had any of those?
Oh, yeah, well, so if you're going that route, it's and I'm not handy, so that's the problem. So anytime something doesn't work, I can't fix it. So like, I had a hard time starting the power washer this year at the beginning. Was a pain in the ass.
That's a tough one.
And you set out your day, like your plan. You know you're gonna be all day power washing this and that. You're kind of mindset for it. And when you can't get something to fight, matter of fact, like your dad came over and helped me get it started. Fucking pain in the dick, man.
That one hits home. I've had that many a time. Yeah. The stuff that I used to do at my parents' house when they had the big house and the big property and the yard to take care of, and just if something would not go the way you wanted it to, or like Jeff said, you're prepared for it and you think you got it all covered and it malfunctions, or just things where you're down and the weed eater's not working, and you reline it, and then you can't start it, and then you find out the gas has water in it, and you got to dump it out, and now at this point you're like boiling over.
Yeah.
So then you lift you get up, you're yanking the thing, and you hit your head off the bottom of the deck.
Oh man!
And then it's just like you snap, motherfucker, you're screaming, you're smashing the weed eater on the ground. I mean, I've done that to several things and just broke them into pieces. Like,
have you ever done
not
that?
hurting anyone else,
No,
but just
just
me.
Yeah, have you ever done that? Have you broken anything out of total frustration?
I'm sure I have, but I can't think of anything right now. I'm sure I've done some fucking dumb things.
I
with
know
that.
I have too, and I can't think of anything.
It makes you
Well,
feel a lot
busted
better.
your desk that one time.
Oh, one day we were doing something like probably playing some game or something, and we had built similar to this coffee table out of pallets.
I remember you said something. You go down with your
I
arm.
took my fucking hand and I just boom. I think I was doing homework, and I just went boom, boom, and I punched it so hard I blew a hole through the pallet wood. And literally for a year and a half, probably 2 years, there was a gap in my monitor. It was tilted and I'd put flex tape under it. I put glue under it. Could never fix it, but something about this sounds horrible, but something about just breaking stuff on
it's
your
a great
mat,
feeling.
Oh, yeah.
so good.
That's like they have those fundraisers where you pay to go smash a car
we gotta
with
go.
a
We should
sledgehammer.
do that.
That'd be fun.
I mean, it does. If you're doing that to something that's not hurting anybody and not destroying anybody else's property, like sometimes I feel like you need to do that because you pin that up inside you and you're so angry. I feel like that's unhealthy.
Yeah, I think
I've never had a problem with that. I like to break things.
there's a part of me, and this again, it sounds bad. There's like that likes being that angry. Like there's like when I get to that point and I start breaking shit, I like it feels good.
Yeah, it's not like you do it all the time, but
Yeah.
like a certain part, you bubble up. Like
Yeah.
you got to let it out. You have to.
I agree,
You can't
100%.
suppress it. You'll fucking go nuts. You got to.
Why they have
As
white
long as you're
coats
not
and
hurting
padded
people.
walls?
Yeah, right.
Yeah, true.
It's better than going to a therapist. I'll tell you that.
I can't-
Less expensive too.
I think.
Man, fuck that too.
What have you
pussies.
broken?
Well, I used to break controllers all the time.
Oh,
I'd just
I've done
take them
that.
and just spike away. When
I've
we
done
lived
that.
at West Lib in our house, I would
Same
just
thing, Jarrett.
I'd just take control and I would just boom, and I'd be like, "Fuck!" Now I gotta go.
I used to go to
now I
Toy-
gotta go buy $30.
I used to go to
$40
Toys R Us
controller.
and buy 4 at a time.
Like shit.
I mean, I would
I
get
actually-
pissed. Like I would get mad at myself, or like, how immature can you be?
Yeah, I know.
What the fuck is wrong
And then
with
after
you?
I do it, I'm like, "Jeez, why did I do that?" Now
I
I
bet
gotta
it felt good at the
I
time.
actually, I have a whole bag of broken controllers that I
Me
want to
too.
like. I'd like to make like
I
a
found him at my parents' house.
Oh, that's good. I'd love to make like a mosaic of them. Like,
Oh yeah, that'd have been awesome because I had old Xbox ones, I had PlayStation.
Yeah, I would love
don't
to do
know.
that. That one, and real quick, one more. Speaking like tools. One time, I was filling up a chainsaw with oil, with bar and chain oil, and I dump it in. It was like a full pour because I was out, and I forgot to. I did something else, and I forgot to put the lid back on.
Yeah.
I picked the chainsaw up. There's still a stain in the garage today. I walked with it, and I didn't realize it was open. All over the garage, all over my pants, and then I think I spilled gas right after that on me, and I'm like, total meltdown. I don't think I broke anything, but it was
wasn't
bad.
meant to be
It was a
today.
bad one.
I was pitching against Brooke, and I got beat. And I think it was the same day. I think it was the same night I drank for the first time.
Yeah,
I remember you mentioned
you talked
this,
about
yeah.
this. Yes.
And before,
Fucking Brooke put you over the edge.
Jesus, before I left to go over to Cooley's house and drink, I went up in my room, and we had this yellow flashlight with like an old school. You put big D batteries in it.
Oh yeah,
to
one of them
start.
big spotlight
It's a
lanterns,
big
a
one.
big round.
And I took that thing and I got in my room and I slammed my door and I grabbed it off my dresser and I took it and threw it at the wall as hard as I could because I just wanted it to explode into a million pieces. And I threw it as hard as I could and it hit the wall and it didn't explode. It went right through the wall. And
wow.
There was a hole like probably the size of a baseball in the wall. And I tried to fix it, and then my dad fixed it, and it was like you can still see it in my room. I'll take a picture of it and send it. But it was like it's just something about throwing shit.
I got a really
breaking
good
shit.
question I want to ask. Do you want to just keep on going?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, we might as well just finish it out.
So, and it's towards you two. So, and this isn't a knock because obviously you both have your treasures and talents that you bring to your household. But obviously you're more the outdoor worker kind of guy, and you're not so much. If by chance that same situation, was your dad pissed at you
For
the chainsaw situation?
no, because he did the same shit.
So, but my
Yeah.
question is, would he treat you two differently on something like that? Would he be okay with you? Like, that should,
Yeah.
that's just, Or would he pound you like, motherfucker, you do it one fucking time and you fuck it up kind of thing? Would it be
He
more
would
that?
definitely be more mad at me than him.
Yeah, and I kind of figured that.
Oh yeah,
It's
yeah.
always
Yeah.
been that way. If it,
Oh, you
I
mean
mean,
period across the board?
across the board.
But Jarrett and your dad
Really?
are more alike in those things. Your
Yes.
dad was doing all this same type of stuff. You are not. You're
No,
unique
they
in
are-
your own way.
I swear-
So I feel like they don't understand you. Like I get where you're coming from. They don't understand you, so it's easy for them to get pissed at you.
yeah, if I fuck something up, it's on my head, like my head in the smasher.
Jared, do you agree with that statement?
Oh yeah. Well, I mean, not like you say it like everything you do. He's
No, I'm saying if I mess something up, if I do something wrong, more times than not, it's my head versus your head. Like,
Well, what the-
I guess it depends on the task too.
I avoid as much as I can to piss him off.
well,
but
yeah,
you two,
I don't mean to do it.
No, Jeff, you
Think he
can.
sets
you
out
know,
to do it?
It is constant butting head. I mean, it is. It's almost a daily thing.
No, it isn't.
Just
Not
but
recently.
not. Well, it maybe not recently, but there's been a stretch where it was every day. I mean, even if it was something little, just them.
Well, like I
always-
go outside and I'm gonna go. For instance, I'll go outside to, I don't know, some minute chore or minute little chore, and I don't put shoes on, and I won't wear like I think it was. I can't remember what it was. It was something like I had to go pick something up out of the yard or go rake leaves
Pick
or
up
something.
sticks.
And I wasn't gonna put shoes on because I just like summertime. I wasn't gonna put shoes on. For some reason, that always pissed him off. Put shoes on. Put socks on. Put shoes on. Put socks on.
it would piss him off so bad.
And I hated that because I was like, I don't feel like
You want to do it your way.
I'm just wearing shitty shoes that are gonna make my feet gross anyway. They're probably more gross wearing shitty shoes that have been sitting in the garage for a year over the winter than just going out in my bare feet and raking up some leaves. And he would get pissed because I didn't wear shoes. So that way you get
him and yard work and my dad was like an absolute just nuclear bomb every time. That it was, he would ask him to do something and Jubb wouldn't want to do it, and then it would piss him off so bad. And I'm like, dude, like, hey, he
Your
doesn't.
dad's very particular, and you guys weren't around to remember what our grandma's yard, your grandma, my grandma's yard looked like. But your dad had a very high level, and your house was like that too.
Yeah, yeah.
And now
It
Jarrett's
still
kind of
is.
taking that over.
Yeah.
So I could see him getting pissed at
Oh,
somebody that
it was-
isn't going to do it that exact way,
it-
Jeff.
it was
It's-
like-
you know how as nice as yard looks.
100%.
Like, yeah. So
Yeah,
I
I've kind of taken over
Yeah.
that role, and
I think he's
and it
glad about that.
Oh yeah, and
But, like,
I almost do it like
some guys just aren't meant to be doing that kind
yeah,
of
no,
work.
it almost like sometimes it like makes me nervous, like that he's like gonna get mad at me for not doing something. So I like every day I try to go outside and do something for in the yard, and it's like every single day or like every night he'll ask me, "What are you doing tomorrow?" I'm like, "Fuck, I mean that shit. I've done about every goddamn thing I can do in the yard. What do you want? What now? What?" And well, I mean, you could do this. You could if you want to. I'm like, well, that means
Which that's the way.
well, that
I better
means-
do it, or he's gonna
Yeah,
get
that
that
pissed.
means if I don't do
He's
it,
gonna beat on my brother Jubb if I don't.
Right. It'll be Jubb's
Yes,
fault.
it'll be Joe. But yeah,
I was
he
just
does
curious.
that.
I kind of figured I knew that answer, but I wasn't 100% sure.
Yeah, he's more like
I'm
my
definitely no. I mean, I don't even think I'm like her. I'm.
When it comes to that, you probably take more after her than he takes more like your dad. And I mean, that's just the way shit is. That's like it's in my family
I'm
too.
definitely if they're like if you go to stereotypes, I'm definitely the black sheep. I'm definitely the odd one of the two. But I'll take
Of
that
the whole
one.
house, probably, huh?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
okay though.
Oh yeah.
Fuck yeah, it's okay.
I'll
It's what
take
makes the
that.
world go round.
You want to be
take that
unique.
title.
You know,
I'll
you want to
take
be
it.
unique because then people remember you more when you're unique.
That's
funny,
that's
though.
definitely a.
There's times I have to because I'm not mechanically inclined. I'm not like if something's going wrong with the house, I have to unfortunately put a phone call into somebody to help a brother out. But I have to sometimes take a step back, even with Luke. Like he came not too long ago. The gas cap came off the oil cap came off the lawnmower, and it's like and I could see that would have hands down been me back in the day. And so, but I have to, because unfortunately now it costs either money because you blew up the lawnmower or the factory where fucked everything up, whatever the case might be. But I have to pull myself back going, well, fuck, dude, that was probably you back in the day. So chill the fuck out, kind of. But it's hard too, because then all you see is dollar signs. Like, fuck, man, some dumb mistake just cost me fucking $150. I got to buy a new fucking lawnmower kind of thing. But yeah, that's a tough balance. It is.
Yeah. It is funny how different, at least when it comes to our whole group, how different everybody is. It is very, because you're very specific in what you are. Matt's very specific. Jarrett's very specific. If you could almost go through everybody and pick out, like, if you were like a video game character, you could like build their stats,
their strengths.
Yeah.
Their various
it's like
ratings.
in Madden where you pull the sliders back and forth.
Yes.
Yeah,
like when certain guys get like really low awareness numbers, and like other guys have very high ones, but very low athleticism numbers, which would be me.
High speed, strength, stuff like that. But you know, obviously different.
I think it's even crazier. You talk about our group. I think it's even crazier the fact of how you can have somebody grow up in the same household, sibling wise, and be completely fucking different. Yeah. I mean,
we've been.
I don't think me and Job could be any
same
more.
womb.
I know that is true.
That's nuts.
I don't think
That's
we
a
could
really
be
good
any
point.
more different. Literally, besides like our interest in video games and
no, but you always find things that you have common with your siblings.
Yeah,
usually.
yeah.
Like no matter what. Like
I'd
I mean,
say-
obviously I'm not a twin, but like there's certain things that me and Ace have in common a lot. But there's a ton of things we have nothing. In common.
Yes.
But you find there's common.
Yeah, I'd say
grounds.
you.
It's
I
like-
mean, you and Ace are very different.
But we also have certain things
Yeah.
that we're very into, like whatever it would be. It escapes me now, but we're pretty close. So, I mean, it's like we have things that we're on the same par with.
Who is Luke more like, you or Cheryl?
Probably the wife.
You think so?
But do you see some of each of you, obviously?
Without a doubt. Yeah,
I'd
that's
say-
the cool part. I think he definitely has a little combo, but I think, I think he's probably a little bit more like the wifey.
I'd say physically he's you.
Oh, looks wise, I think you and him.
And
look-
everybody says that, and here's the deal. I think he's got a combo that I don't see him looking. Everybody says when they see a picture of Luke, they're like, "Oh my God, that's a spitting image." And I actually, he's way better looking than me, number one. But I just don't think. I see it, but I don't see it as much as other people see it. If that's fair to say.
I think you two
definitely
look
see
very.
it.
Well,
Like,
that's
like that picture right there, the one we have in the studio. You guys look extremely alike.
See, that's so-
extremely alike.
Do you think that too? And
Yeah.
be honest.
No, in like structure,
Your
body
facial
structure and
like,
stuff. Yeah,
this
definitely.
this triangle right here, the upside down from the eye to the mouth, eye and across to the brow. That triangle is
so wild, though.
Yeah, no,
it really is.
I see, but I wouldn't say a spitting image. I would say you can definitely tell it's your son.
Yeah.
But I could see your wife in his face too.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I don't
So
think
that's
I
good.
look like either one of my parents. I don't think I look like my mom or my dad. He looks like my mom. It looks like my mom when she was younger. Probably looks more like my dad now.
See, actually, I would say that you look like your dad, and I would say you have features of your mom.
You think so?
I really do, yeah.
I don't think I do.
No, what would you say about that, Jared? Do you think he looks like your mom at all?
Yeah, I would say honestly, I don't really know because I thought some people would say I look like my mom, and then some look like I look like my dad.
It's
I don't know.
It was easier to pick them out when they didn't
they were-
have facial hair.
Yeah,
and
they were
long,
young.
like,
True.
when they were like in their child pictures.
Yeah.
It's like
Didn't you guys do a lot of twin things back in the day?
Oh, my God.
No, but meaning as in you guys went. Where's that place?
Twinsburg.
That kind of
Twinsburg,
stuff.
Fucking everything.
So when you guys were doing that type of stuff, and you may not remember because obviously your age at that time, but so you guys are claiming that you're so different as being twins. Did you meet other twins that actually had that same, or did you ever meet anybody that was like you guys, where you guys are so polar opposites, being twins?
I mean, like in my kindergarten class, there were 5 sets of twins.
That's right. That was a paper thing,
It was in
wasn't
the
it? When did I
paper.
make the paper? I remember that. Yeah.
It was super cool. But I would say a majority of the twins that I knew, like, I won't say who they are, but they from Warwood, and we actually were pretty close friends with them. They were very different from each other. Like one was kind of more in touch with sports and football and stuff like that, and both of them like football, but the other one was more fishing and outdoors and stuff like that. So I don't know. I would say like the twin couple that didn't get out of the car in when we played Pinto. They're very different from each other when we were younger. So I think a majority of twins, and I say this for fraternal twins, identical twins that I know seem way more like, and I don't know whether that's genetics or just why,
I would agree with
or
that.
just because they look alike that I think that. But like the twins that I
Oh yeah, now that you say that, yeah, like there's a set of twins that I know at West Lib. I literally couldn't. I still can't tell them apart. I have no idea exact. Like they're so alike that I literally can't even.
Yeah.
They're so alike.
so maybe
in
that's something to
everything
do
they
with, because I mean fraternal twins are two different.
Embryos.
Yeah, and where I could be. I'm not a biologist.
Actually, I don't even know this.
I
have
think
no idea.
I think
to be
the
honest.
fraternal, if I'm not wrong, are two different.
Is it embryo? I don't. Would it be an embryo?
Yeah,
Well,
because
it
they
eventually is
they
an embryo, but
fertilize
your
two different
chromosomes
eggs.
are-
Okay.
yeah.
And I think when you're identical, you're one that splits into two
Correct. That's
instead
how
of
I
two at the
understand it.
start.
Okay.
So
I
we
truly
beat
don't know this shit.
we landed on two different eggs at the same time. I think, like him and I.
I don't know.
Whereas, we're identical.
Which makes
one
it why
one
you guys
and then they
look
split.
differently. Yeah.
I could be wrong on that. I don't know.
I feel like it
biology.
would be so weird if we were identical. I think it would be the.
But
so
who would be
odd.
the identical one? Would you be
I know,
Chubb or
that's-
would you
yeah, I
be
know.
you?
Jarrett says, "Thank God he doesn't look like me."
That would be wild though. Have you guys liked your twin experience though?
I
You
think
have.
I
You
think
guys-
so.
Yeah, for
I
as
think
much as
so,
you want to
yeah.
kill each other, sometimes you got each other for life.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
good, so.
Are
Yeah, I
you
think
are you and Ace like I mean, I know you guys are close because that's going to be a dumb fucking question. But like,
Yeah.
have you had your being as close as you are age wise and stuff like that? Did you go through your times where fucking it wasn't good?
Yeah, a little bit. Maybe like, when you're younger and more immature, and it's easier to not be patient with the way that someone acts. Like I have a high standard to live with, so I'm not an easy person to live with. I'm easy to live with if you do things the way that I want them done. Like where you're neat.
Appreciate honesty.
You're
though with that.
neat and you take very high care of the area. So that we butted heads over before, back when I first bought my house and he lived with me, and then but then as time goes on, it's like he starts to say like, okay, I'm gonna start doing it the way Matt wants it. That's gonna alleviate the fighting, and it's like, so that part. But like I feel like it was fair. I was the landlord. I feel like my expectations, they weren't unrealistic or unfair in any way. So, but other than that, no, we get along very well. I mean, we have disagreements, but that happens all the time. But
fucking
yeah,
normal.
but no, I would say, and obviously you go through that time when you're living at your parents' house, when you're like. I'm just going into high school and he's like in the middle school, and then maybe we're not as tight then, and
get
like
that.
maybe you're just like, get the fuck away from me, like that. But you know what I mean. But then then you got your little sister
Oh,
there,
yeah.
just like, get away from me too. It's like, how you go through that in high school where you're a fucking tough guy and you think you know everything, and you're a total dick, where your parents ought to just beat the living shit out of you, knock your goddamn teeth out, and really you would deserve it totally. So I mean, I'm like I say, I am not an easy person to live with at all. If you're not kind of doing what I think you should be doing. And it's not like it's the way you have to behave. It's just being a pig. It wears me out after a while. Like I can
There's
only
nothing
be
wrong with that.
patient with people for so long. I don't know.
Were you real quick? Were you ever really? Well, I mean, obviously your brother and sister, but were you like super close with Jenna?
Well,
Like,
I was very close with Jenna when she was young, like very, very close, because when my mom had Jenna, she had hurt her shoulder in labor. She couldn't even do anything she couldn't bathe Jenna. She couldn't take care of her, like for the first several months that she was on the earth. So
you were the man. You were the man.
Well, my dad would be. He didn't want to mess with that. Him and Ace are like that in that regard. They don't want to messing with taking care of babies or cleaning up stuff or any. That's not them. So I got that anything that I have as far as neatness, tidiness, cleanliness. And then it's not like Ace, like I'm saying he's dirty, but you know what I'm saying? Keeping the house very high standard clean, like that is all from my mom. Taking care of people for my mom, cooking obviously for my dad. So you get all these different things.
Yeah.
But to answer your question, very close with Jenna at an early age, like very, very, very close. And then obviously I'm 9 years
tough,
older than
yeah.
her, so I'm in college. She's in grade school. So then you
Yeah,
come
it's
apart.
tough,
But
yeah.
like when we were like, I was one of the only person in the household that could get her to get dressed for school, she and I like connected. I don't know if it's just because we were both fall babies, but we had a good relationship.
I think, and this could just be me speaking as a guy, but I think with guys, when you butt heads with guy friends, even if it's your sibling, I think the turnaround for being like, we're gonna rip each other's heads off,
you let it go
and then
quick.
the next day or even within a couple hours, it's like, all right, let's go get something to eat or something like that. Whereas like I feel like with girls, at least from my experience of talking to the girls I know, it's like, I hate her, she's a bitch, I'll never talk to her again in my life.
Spot
and
on.
then that's it. I may be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong.
I detect that. Jeff, what do you think of that?
I think it's very fair, and actually, if you talk to any logical thinking woman, they would agree with you the same exact way.
They hold grudges.
Yeah.
They hold grudges.
Yeah. I mean,
Because
don't get me wrong.
most women, like my wife, hands down, would rather work with 100 dudes than fucking 100 women all day long.
I
Not
mean,
it out.
Do you find that our Delbrook side of the family has that grudge gene? Because I feel like we do.
I think we do. Especially, I think it's like that. If you turn,
Right.
I don't want to be specific here, but if you turn on the family, especially if it's like a group thing.
Never go against the family.
Yeah, we're like the mafia. Like we're like a mob family. Like if you turn against the family, you're done.
Right.
You're done. It's
Yeah.
it.
And that some of that is good.
I mean, I think that should. I mean, it
sometimes
should
we
be
get-
like that. That to me seems like it should be like that. You turn.
Makes sense.
Right, but we don't want to get mad at the mailman because he's late and we hate him. Like, so
Yeah,
you gotta
yeah.
balance it out a
Yeah.
little bit. Like we don't want to do that either. But
Yeah.
I feel like because I always tell my mom that sometimes, and like not like that she's like hate because she's not, but like sometimes she just won't get over something that like
my mom's the same
it's
way.
like someone outside of like not our family, not our friend, not even like someone that's a regular acquaintance, but like you just never get over something. It's like, Mom, let that go. Like don't dwell on that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
There
I
are
know
some.
you'll
I
listen
guess
to this,
everyone
Mom.
does that. To some
Yeah,
degree.
it's just. I think we're and I mean I'm sure the same goes for your family. Like you're very tight knit. So like if you know, an attack against one pillar is an attack against the whole like crew.
There's nothing wrong with
It's
that.
like a pirate ship.
Yeah, I
you
agree.
attack one pirate, the whole ship turns against you. It's like a mutiny. But yeah, I think it's a good thing to have.
Yeah, it is. In most cases, you're
Definitely.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
Now, if you're like it's shoving someone out of the family because you don't like them or like they're weird or something, I guess that's not exactly the greatest thing to do. We don't do that, thank God.
Do you guys think there is a such thing as the Brady Bunch?
Like perfect family? No.
Do you think like even anybody that portrays it?
No.
No, I find those people to be the ones who have the worst problems.
probably
And
legit.
and again, you hate to see that, but I have seen situations where it's like you think this like family, you know, and you guys probably have friends like that too.
Oh, yeah.
They're like their parents are like loaded with money. They're spoiled. They get everything they fucking want in the whole world. But then when you really get to know the dysfunction that they have, whether it's one of the kids is heavy into drugs
Exactly.
or like has like whatever, they turn down a bad path, and like you see it and it's like, wow, you know what, I'm not so bad off. Like I mean, I might have been like, man, this motherfucker gets everything. I wish I had a little bit of that, but I have the good family unit that's not, we're all fucking up in some way, but not to the point where we're destroying our lives or around,
100%.
those around us.
Yep.
I think it's a good thing that, especially when it comes to friends and family too, if you can have a disagreement or even argue and get pissed at each other for a little bit and then come back and you're good, I think that's a good thing to have. I think
agree with
especially
that,
like
Joe.
you're not best friends with somebody if you don't argue with them every now and then.
Exactly.
Like for instance, Nick and I, we butt heads probably more than anybody I've ever argued with in my life. Like we argue, but he's my
Constant.
goomball. He's my goomball. If he's gonna be one of my groomsmen. I mean he's gonna be that guy. So it's like you gotta have that. And if I think anybody, whether it's a family or friends, that always portrays that they're perfect image of relationship, that ain't right. There's something ain't right.
Facade, 100%.
Something ain't right.
Worst thing you want is someone to agree with you all the time.
Yeah, fuck
Yeah,
that.
I mean,
That's no
it's
fun.
just terrible.
That's no fun.
It's no way to live.
No way.
Challenge yourself and challenge others. You should try to challenge.
Yeah.
And sometimes you have to challenge your friends. Some people, your friends, family, who aren't doing what they need to be doing. Like, and you're worried about them. Like, get your fucking head out of your ass and let's go.
Yeah.
Just like you with your kids. And, like, sometimes you have to really be tough on people that you care about the most.
Yeah.
There's no doubt. I mean, I've had that happen with my brother before. It's like, sometimes you just gotta face. You gotta fucking wake the fuck up here, man. Like,
Yeah.
And not just him, but like anybody
Yeah.
that you care about. It's just
I agree.
Well
do it.
said, man.
Yeah, I agree with
well
that.
said.
I think we all need checked at the door.
Yeah.
no
100%.
doubt.
And but the baseline thing is, what I think what really determines whether you're good friends is, like I said, being able to come back to that. Because
Right.
if you really love somebody, if you absolutely love somebody, especially friends, and not to be in a weird way, if you love your friends that much and you argue, it doesn't matter how bad the argument is, you'll come back.
Well, and you should hear the point. Like if someone gets on you, someone gets on me about something that they think I'm not doing right or I overstepped on something, I should be able to calm down, evaluate what they said to me, and build off of it and say, you know what, they got a fucking point, and I need to do better at this, and it's okay. But the guys versus the girls thing, you're so spot
back
on.
to that,
Because I mean, I've known dudes that have like. I guess I'll put this as polite as possible, but like the one guy's dating a girl and then the other dude starts dating her, for lack of a better term, and like, yeah, it's like, it's like they might fist fight in a fucking locker room before basketball practice, but then they're fucking best friends again in a day. It's like,
man,
we're not letting the bitch tear us apart,
No.
That kind of shit.
Love each other. Don't let
Make love, not war.
Yeah,
Like,
and even
old
if
Dick Cameron
and
saying.
even if you do make war, you can come back from it. You can make
He said that.
Dick Cameron.
Yeah.
That was a great.
He said
make
that?
love,
Yeah,
not
make
war.
love, not
I
war.
do think I remember him saying that at the beach. All right, well, we're gonna head off now. Thank you for joining us here for episode 75. Look out for some new stuff that we got cooking. We got a really big event brewing right now that we're kind of gonna be the host of. I won't give any details yet because it hasn't been completely ironed out. But it's going to be a lot of fun. We're going to invest some pretty heavy mental energy towards it, so it's going to be pretty good. What word am I trying to think of? Venture to paddle in towards. So we're going to have some fun there. Again, we got if you see or Derek Rayner, Derek the intern, tell him congrats for being part of the crew.
Yes.
He's part of us now, and we look forward to working with him and having him aboard. But
You gonna allow him to sit in the broke chair?
I think so, yeah. He's got
That's his
keys.
initiation. If you don't fall the fuck out of the broke chair, you're good.
Yeah, he'll even
Amazing.
break the other arm.
We've never got a new chair.
So thank you for watching episode 75. Listen to us on the radio. If you made it this far in the podcast, why not listen to some more of us on the radio?
Yeah,
We're going to be on
breaking
the
news
radio.
on Friday.
Yes,
Yes,
Friday's
huge.
going to be huge. Listen, WKKX. You listen to it on your phone.
Or come out and see us.
Yeah, you can go to Gumby's out in Elm Grove. But you can listen to it on your phone. You don't have to have like an analog radio. Just go to watchdognetwork.com, click on one at WVLY or WKKX, and you can listen to it right from noon to 3. We're on there from noon to 3, Fridays and Tuesdays, and we're on Mondays for an hour. You got to listen to it. It's fun. We have fun. Interact with us. It's really, if you got nothing to do, why wouldn't you do it? If you're hanging out, maybe you're doing some cleaning before the winter, come on, have fun. Anyway, we're going to let you go here. Thanks for joining us, and thanks for making it all this way. If you made it all this way, DM us or send us an email with the word eggplant, and you'll get something. I don't know.
Free eggplant dinner.
Yeah.
On job.
I don't know. We'll send
Panda.
you something,
The
even
panda.
if it's just a thank you. But that's the secret code word at the end of the episode. Anyway, we're the Pine Room Studios, and until next time, we'll see you here next time. Oh boy, I said that backwards. What did I say at the end?
Until next time, we'll see you.
Until next time, we're the Pine.
We'll
Peace.
see you in
We're the next. We're the next time. Jesus.
We are the next
All right.
time.
Until next time, we'll see you here in the Pine Room.
There it is.
Goodbye.
Peace out.